Hello everybody, this is Sir Esthir and welcome back to Let's Play Vampire's Dawn Reign of Blood. Last time we've been doing some hypocritical things like not killing one person because we say he's innocent, but then killing another person just because we wanted to get to their key. Didn't I say I did not want to further talk about that? And today we're going to do some more murdering. What? What did you expect? We're in the king's chamber and they say there's going to be some tough boss battles, so what do you expect? Halt! What is your desire? We're searching Sir Esthir. Sir Esthir? We're in search for him for a while now as well. So he was one of your knights indeed. Why was? Yes! Wait a moment. You know something. Wow! You're a quick thinker, aren't you? Exactly, you know something. And it was you who had sent him to the castle of the Eldanes. How do you know that? You were inside the castle. Exactly, you were there. Thank you. This answer is sufficient for me. Wait, what do you know about Sir Esthir? Well, I know that you will have a reunion with him very soon. Pardon? Miss Ayres, are there any problems? Yes, Your Highness. These people apparently come from the castle of the Eldanes. What do they know? We will have to find that out. Let me through. I want to talk to them. But I don't think this is a good idea. These people look dangerous. Let me through, I command you. As you command. You have the honor to talk to our king, but I will keep an eye on you. Then take a real close eye on me. Now tell me, what do you know of the whereabouts of Sir Esthir? He is dead. Oh no, what a tragic message. But how do you know of this? He has sniffled around in the castle of the Eldanes. Yes, this was his mission. He was to check if everything was in order and to gather taxes. He has failed, but you can speak of luck that I am here. What do you mean? I am here to bring you your taxes. Ah, very good. Hand it over. In form of my blade. Ah! Ah, thanks that I don't need to do that scream game. Adam! Damn. This is not going to be easy. And it's time for a boss battle against Johanna Iris and Melissa. I forgot her last name. You're going to be killed now for your disgraceful behavior. Right! You're going to be killed now! We will surely see who is going to kill who, but parrots die soon. We're going to throw your corpse to the wolves! Right, throw your corpses to the wolves! But you have overlooked something. I am the wolf! Yeah, we still do remember that tragedy from the beginning of the game. Yeah. So we have our fight against those two people here. So first of all, I would recommend you to take a look at the strengths and weaknesses and what they can do. And what should I do with Asuka? Yeah, I think it's actually they don't use blind duel or silence, so I guess you don't need the protection for this battle. Either way, I guess Asuka, since he doesn't have anything worthwhile to do, he's going to attack Melissa. And Elaine, I guess she can use Chaos. Yeah, you know what, let's use Chaos! Starts bleeding, cannot see anything, is silenced, is enraged. Ooh, Melissa's silenced, nice, then she shouldn't be able to use her with the targeting healing spell anymore. Nice, and did Black Power not do anything just there? Wow. Either way, I guess Melissa's in a pretty bad spot now, so okay, let's not use Black Power any further. Asuka is already full on blood. Actually, let's let one feed on Johanna. Asuka, you can attack Melissa in case she gets unsilenced. Yeah, Melissa's kind of annoying with her with her healing spells. So I would recommend taking her out first. And as always, it is a good idea to use stability on them, but because Chaos already let them bleed horribly. I think that's good enough, actually. Yeah, Chaos is such a nice spell. Okay, you're bleeding as well, so Johanna should be dead in a second too, yeah. And yeah, if Chaos is not that effective for you, or if you didn't choose to learn Chaos, use the ability on those two guys here and still try to make them bleed with a feeding ability. You damned women! And they're dead. Gruesome. And get ready for the next spell against King Gerald and cohorts. This spell here is a little bit more difficult simply because you have to fight against 4 people. How dare you! As punishment, you're going to be impaled, whipped, and then burned! That sure is harmless in comparison to what we are going to do with you. Ah, Asuka. Your comebacks are always nice. So let's try to use Black Power again. Maybe it's more useful this time around. With Asuka, sure, let's... actually, I think... Who was the one who could heal again? One of those two could, Counselor or Court Magician. Let me see. Alright, the Counselor can... Ooh, Paralyze and Confuse! I think we should take out the Counselor. And the Court Magician can multi-heal and put us to sleep. So yeah, you generally want to take these two out here first. Actually, I just remembered something. You do want to use Ice Shield and Fire Shield if at all possible. I think Wana has Fire Shield? Yeah, let's use that with Wana next turn. And with Elaine, let's use Chaos, since I believe... Yeah, okay, they have a lot of status resistances here, but let's try it anyway. Ah, I cannot think clearly anymore and falls asleep. Nice, and starts bleeding, not affected at all. Playing Clara. Well, the King and the Queen have some really good resistances, so I'm not surprised there, actually. Alright, it was a little better. And yeah, the King and the Queen can use multi-targeting fire and ice elemental spells respectively. So you really want to protect from those. Okay, Wana, you use Fire Shield now, okay. Elaine still can use Stability, I think that's not a bad idea. And I think I'm going to kill the Court Magician first, since he can multi-heal, yeah. Stability, or actually, you know what? Actually, yeah, against the King and the Queen it's not a bad idea, since they are really hard to get some statuses working on them. Okay! I've never seen that before. 1? Really? I always think that was a bug. No, not necessarily a bug, but... That was pathetic! Wow. Okay, let's try that again, but this time on the Queen. Really, enemies don't have ability resistance. But I'm getting rid... Actually, maybe because they have such high intelligence, that could actually reduce the effectiveness of... Haha, confused. The effectiveness of the ability. Now thinking about it. Either way, their most terrifying spells are their multi-targeting spells, and with Fire Shield and Ice Shield, they barely should be able to do anything. Starts bleeding. That reminds me, I should still feed off of them while I still can. With that I mean as long as they're still alive. Yeah, if they are bleeding, okay, the Queen doesn't. The battle should be going over pretty quickly. Yeah, their attacks are pretty much useless. And the King is dead thanks to the bleeding. And the Queen will soon follow him. No damage, yeah. Although that was because of Black Power. And well, that was a pretty easy battle. Chaos sure is awesome, if you know when to use it. And sadly, this is the only boss battle where Chaos actually is worth a damn. And I think Asuka has something against the royalties. No, please don't! Long live the anarchy! Oh, I've changed my mind. Down with the anarchy! The king is dead! Long live the king! Yeah, thanks, Oscar. With that foolishness, and put down that crown. Oh, alright. Always when it is at its best. But we will take the crown with us. It fits me so well. If it has to be. 1 crown received, thanks game. And what are we going to do now? I hope that no one has noticed our murder. Maybe we should take a look around a little more. We might discover something. You think so? All the taxes the king has gathered have to be kept somewhere. Then let's take a look in this. Room. Maybe we can find a secret passage or something. Oh no, we're trapped! So many corpses! Really, that's quite a lot of corpses. Even his head is in our way. And thanks, he kicked it away. Or more like punched it, but still, I like to think that he kicked it. Oh, there's a hole in the wall, huh? It looks like a symbol or something like that fits in here. Yeah, how about the emblem? And it worked! The wall moved! There's a secret passage behind it. Now that is certainly interesting. Ooh, quite a lot of treasures here. So what do we have here? We have in the Albra's chest Elaine's ultimate weapon, the Vampire Claws. Finally Elaine can actually deal some damage too. Although compared to the other guys, she barely deals any damage either way. So yeah, now we have all the ultimate equipment that we can equip. Except for the helmets, but as I said so many times, I'm not going to acknowledge that. Oh, and for the Vampire Claws you need... Eh? I haven't written it down, but probably something like 200 or 210 intelligence. Huh? The chest is empty. And yeah, I don't know, 190 probably then. So I could open it. Empty too? What's with all these empty treasure chests? And how can something be emptier than empty? Oh no, it's a Wacchio! In that corner over there is at least 1 filler! Stop the world! 1 filler! Da 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 da! Yeah, sorry. And empty. That can't be. Damn it! Where is the tax money? Wait, back in that corner there is something. A small book. It bears the title Taxes of this Year. Well, that's convenient. What does it say? April 19,450 filler. May 14,293 filler. June 13,003 filler, and so on. But these are enormous taxes. Does it not say where they are now? Wait, here is something interesting. Payment to Mr. X in May, 14,000 filler. In June, 13,022 filler. Someone has received all of the tax money. Not Abraxas? He had hunted vampires for money, had he not? That would also explain why he had the castle emblem in his tower. So then it was the king who had commanded Abraxas to kill all of the remaining vampires? It would be possible. But that would also mean that the king had known of the existence of vampires. But why had the king not simply sent his knights, instead of only Abraxas? Well, for 2 reasons. 1, the knights are horribly weak and would just be killed by the vampires, and 2, yeah, what Elaine just says here. Maybe he had known of the existence of vampires, but didn't want to unsettle his people. After all, there is no Vincent Waynard anymore. The people would only live in fear. Or maybe Abraxas was only able to search and kill the only vampires alone. Maybe he was the only one who was strong enough for his mission. But then there is still one logical error. We eavesdropped Abraxas in his cave back then, when he was talking with his employer. Finally! Finally I wrote employer instead of employee! Woo! And he apparently was scared that he himself might be killed one day, by his employer. And if only Abraxas was strong enough to kill all of the remaining vampires, then he clearly wasn't afraid to be killed as well, especially not by the king. That's true, of course. Furthermore, I can't see any of these communication devices in here. In that case, Mr. X cannot be Abraxas. And in conclusion, the king has paid someone else. Here's written something else. I hate it when I always have to travel to Asfran to lay this money on the grave between the flowers. I always feel so cheap doing that. But I don't see any other solution to this problem. My counselors already started to state that most peculiar questions why I always want to go to that grave all alone. I always tell them one of my concubines lies buried there, but that is obviously a lie. Nobody is allowed to know of this secret. Nobody is allowed to know of the existence of these monsters, of vampires. The people would become scared and demand me to send an army to destroy the vampires. Yet the people don't see that this would be the doom of my army. It is simply not strong enough to deal with vampires. Yet, fortunately, they still believe that the vampires had been completely exterminated by Vincent Waynard, and thus I can rule here in relative peace. And so that it will stay like this, I have concluded a deal with him. I will not write down his name in this book purposefully, as it might fall into the wrong hands. He said it would be better for the entire humankind if the vampires were to be fully eradicated. He couldn't do it himself for obvious reasons. It would be too dangerous for him. But he has already found a minion who will finish his task for him. Only for an appropriate compensation, however. And what a compensation! Mr. X also wanted me to give his minion our castle emblem for the case he needed to bring important information to me. To be honest, I have not set eyes on him to this date. I pray to God that no one realizes what the taxes are truly used for. My knights have already complained that I only buy cheap weapons from the desert. But I need the money for Mr. X. It is the best for me and the rest of humanity. May God guide me. This is truly a complete diary entry. Unbelievable. So the king knew of the existence of vampires, and he had really used the money for the extermination of vampires. He was also afraid for his knights and thus for his power, so that he had to keep everything a secret. And in turn, Abraxas had truly been nothing but a minion, a paid vampire hunter. We have to find out who received the money and thus who Abraxas' employer was. And then we will kill him as punishment for wanting us to be killed. And all the other vampires on this world. Yes, them too. You're really an egoist, Oscar. I know. The text also said something about that the king had always laid down the money on the grave in Asran. We should go there. Asran. I have transformed into a vampire in that town. If that's no coincidence that our journey now leads us into this town. I think it actually is a coincidence, but either way. That is really interesting what we've read there. And we got 3 save stones. Okay. But one thing I don't understand from a game developing side or point of view, why do the characters first talk about, how could the possibilities be that blah blah blah, and then they just read it in the diary entry that exactly what they just discussed. So why even let them discuss in the first place? But whatever. So next time we will be not going to Aslan quite yet. However, we will go to a couple of extra areas, and probably the episode after that we'll finally go to Aslan and kill the, well, search for? Or, I don't know. Well, we will try to do our best to get to the person who actually gave all the money to Abraxas. This was SanCS, and farewell for now.